Good morning, party people. So today's video, we're gonna talk all about supplements. This video has been a long time coming. Now I've teamed up with Cytec Nutrition. I'm gonna fully break down what I take in my supplement stack, why I take it, and how it could be useful for you. I'm gonna preface this entire thing to be, if you're not getting your diet and your nutrition on point, there's no point taking supplements. The supplement should be exactly that, a supplement to your diet. So you need to have that well-balanced diet in place with your nutrition 100% before you should even really consider supplements. I'm at that point in my career, my body, my physique, my training, my health, that I need supplements to get that extra edge to my nutrition. That's why I supplement. So if you guys are interested in looking at supplementation on top of your nutrition, that's what we're gonna talk about today. All right, we're gonna start things off with the basics. So first things first, we're gonna talk about whey protein. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna talk about here is whey protein. This is 100% whey protein professional from Cytec Nutrition. This thing is delicious. Honestly, Cytec do the best proteins I've ever had. This one here is the cookies and cream. I've also got like a strawberry white chocolate, I've got a caramel, and it's a pleasure. It's actually like a dessert, but we'll get into that later. So the whole reason you want to have a good quality source of whey protein in your diet is it's going to help with muscle maintenance and repair. So when you're breaking down the muscle fibers, when you're working out, it's going to help repair them, build you bigger and stronger, faster, to help with the recovery. This is an essential part of a diet. You need to have a lot of protein in your diets, but this will help get that little bit of extra edge. It's also, for me, a really good way of making sure I don't snack. I have this and it helps me hit my macronutrients for the day. So when I've got to hit my nutrients in terms of protein, having a shake really helps with that. So I like to have these by themselves. I also have it with like protein oats. So I have oats with a scoop of this as well in the mornings, and that is a delicious, delicious snack. Now I'm gonna add here as well, if you're vegan, if you have intolerances to lactose, whey is derived from an animal source. So I would suggest looking at some of the other brands. Nuzest do a really great vegan protein. Cytec have a vegan protein too. I've never actually tried that one, not yet. I'll have to soon. But yeah, there's definitely some really good pea blends out there that you can try if you are either vegan or lactose intolerant. Cool. All right, on to the next one. Creatine. This is a relatively new addition to my stack. I've only been taking creatine now for about 8 months. And to be honest, I've noticed huge size gains since taking it. Now, creatine is one of the most researched substances in terms of supplements in the world. So it is proven to be a benefit to most people. There are some people that are gonna have intolerances, which is unfortunate. For me, it's been nothing but a blessing to my workout. The whole idea behind creatine is it's gonna help with water retention in the muscle belly. So it means when you're working out, your muscles are gonna stay hydrated and fueled and be recovering faster and growing quicker. This thing is honestly like a miracle cure. I've been, as I said, for about 8 months now. You don't need to cycle it. Some people I know have been on it for 2 years straight and haven't come off at all. I've been taking it now for 8 months straight, every day. I did like a little boost cycle to start with, so I doubled up my load for the first week just to get it into my system. And then from then on, I think it's 5 mil, it's one scoop. Yeah, 5 grams, sorry, 5 grams of this a day. So it's not much. You can see the scoops are really small. I normally just add a scoop of this into my protein and it's easy. It's good as gold. This is definitely something I would recommend if you're looking to increase your strength, your recovery, looking to grow. There doesn't seem to be any side effects here. This one from Cytec is just 100% creatine. So really, really great. Creatine monohydrate, must have. Okay, next up you've got Intra Edge here. This is a dextrose carb source, as well as having some amino acids. It's got glutamine, leucine, it's got citrulline malate in it, which is gonna help with a pump. The whole reason I take this is as an extra carb source while I'm training. Again, having macros, I've got my macros kind of locked out for the day. I know what I should be eating and how much of each thing I should be eating. This just helps me hit those extra additional gains without having to eat like a whole sweet potato or whatever it is. I get my carb source from here. I also have it while I train because I feel I'm much more reactive to it then. This one has some amino acids in it as well, but the whole idea behind this is essentially for me so I can get a good clean source of carbs while training, hitting me straight away. It's also gonna mean I'm gonna open and be more receptive to the proteins I'm consuming after training. So it also for me, this is a really big one, which there's no science behind this one. This is just like almost a placebo effect, it makes my drink more delicious. I drink more water while training because I have something that tastes good. So that also helps. We'll also get onto that when we talk about some amino acids in a minute. But the next one here, Intra Edge, this is one that I have every time I train. That's what's in my drink bottle. When you see my videos of me shaking something up, generally it's a mix of this and some amino acids. So that's my next one right there. And my last essential one right now is a pre-workout. This pre-workout I've been using for 2 weeks now, and it is unreal. I feel like, okay, the benefit of pre-workout is it's gonna have caffeine. It's also gonna have some pump stimulants. So it's gonna help with blood flow. It's a vasodilator, so it's gonna help you get your muscles full of blood and pumping. So some people have pre-workouts that sort of have a big crash. I don't find this has any crash personally. It's quite smooth. The whole idea with this is you're getting that spike of caffeine, a big surge of energy. It's gonna help with the focus, determination. I feel like I don't use it for every workout. I use it normally for my bigger ones. So if I'm doing anything big in compound lifting, I'll normally have pre-workout before then. And it just helps me get through those sessions a bit easier. So in this one, the caffeine content, there is per serving, 282 milligrams of caffeine. So that's a lot of caffeine. That's like 3 to 4 coffees. So I definitely wouldn't be having more than 1 scoop of this a day. If you are, you probably need to cut back on your caffeine source. But for me, pre-workout is definitely not an essential, but it's something I like to have in my stack for those days where I really want to go hard and get the most growth I can. So this one's a cola lime flavor too, which is delicious. Okay, the next topic we're going to talk about here is something that is a little bit more of the unproven scientific world. My business partner Lane and I differ on this one. There's a lot of science out there that sort of says that amino acids are unnecessary. You get enough in your food. For me, the whole reason I take amino acids kind of falls into, I've been taking them for years before the science said they might not do that much. The old science of a few years ago said, yeah, they're definitely something you should have. It'll help with growth, it'll help with recovery. Now there's new studies coming out that being like, look, they don't actually do that much. For me, I didn't find any negative results from using them. And it also helped me have more liquid in my diet. I'm big on preaching drinking more water. This made me drink more water by having a drink that tasted good, had a bit of extra flavor in it. It also has like leucine, isoleucine, valine. They have a bunch of extra ingredients in these that are proven to be good for you. Whether you need them on top of your diet, that's probably the argument. But for me, I like having them because it does help me get through my drink a little bit more while training. Now I've got 2 different types here. You've got Amino Charge and BCAA Express. BCAA is branched chain amino acids, and then you've got essential amino acids as well. They're in both of these. The Amino Charge has a little bit of caffeine. I think that has like 100 milligrams of caffeine in that one. So that's gonna give you a little bit of a stimulant, which if you're having pre-workout, I definitely wouldn't be having that one. If you weren't having pre-workout, that's a great one to have. It has a little bit of energy as well as all the amino acids. This one is straight amino acids in a complex. So I like to add those in. I mix them in with my Intra Edge there as my intra-workout drink. So there's plenty of flavors in both. So there's definitely something there for me. I like this apple one right here. This is a cola. I've also got like a blue raspberry one, which I like. So I don't know, I train so much, I like to mix it up. Again, you can't take these as this is the be all and end all. You have to have your diet on point, but this is that extra little supplementation on top of things. Now, I get asked a lot about snacking. How do I stop cravings? To be honest, I don't. I just found better alternatives for when snacking. So I brought a few options here. Find a decent protein bar that doesn't have too much of the bad stuff in it. It's gonna be better than jumping down like a block of chocolate. This in here is 20 grams of protein, 1.9 grams of sugar, 2 grams of carbs. So low impact carb, low impact sugar, high protein. I think it's got some fats in it. I actually haven't even broken this one down to add it into my macros yet. Fat. So it's got 14 grams of fat, so it's a little bit fatty, but a higher percentage of protein. That is a better option than sitting there and chopping down some chocolate or a donut or whatever it is. So if you're needing that extra bit of something in your diet, that's a good way of adding it in. Bosco's brand Peak chocolate. This stuff is amazing. So they've got 2 different types at the moment. They've got active and focus. The ingredients in these ones, this one has creatine, branched chain amino acids, has Himalayan rock salt, as well as some naturally occurring caffeine in this. They're gluten-free, vegan, paleo-friendly. It's like a raw dark chocolate. If you like raw dark chocolate, this stuff is delicious. There's also the focus variation here, which I have taken at times when I'm doing work at the computer in the morning. This one has lion's mane mushroom, green tea, ginkgo biloba, and natural caffeine as well. So this is gonna help with that focus, that mental clarity. It's, again, better than chomping down on a Snickers bar. They say you're not you when you're hungry. It's because you're a fatter version of you when you're eating a Snickers. Okay, so now we've gone through my stack. I'm gonna go through a bunch of questions. I asked you guys to ask me your supplement related questions. I'm gonna go through a bunch just quickly here just to answer the questions. Again, I'm not an expert on this. I know what works for me. Each person's individual. So I'm gonna give you my personal opinion on these. Different people have different opinions. As I said, Lane, my business partner for Milestone, we differ on some things because personally we find them work differently. First question here, are fat burners worth your money? I don't think so. I think fat burners are a really big scheme. It's easy to buy into a fat burner. Oh my God, I'm shredding. Essentially what a fat burner is, it's a thermogenic. It's gonna heat you up from your core. You're gonna sweat more. You are going to have a higher metabolic rate. So it means you're gonna sweat more, you're gonna run hotter. As you're doing cardio and stuff, enough cardio and you're working it hard, you shouldn't need that. I think they're a waste of money. Okay. Do I use L-carnitine? Great question. Yes, I also do have L-carnitine. I have L-carnitine tablets. Now, L-carnitine is a fatty acid mobilizer. So essentially it helps break down the fats in our body, put them through our bloodstream, and we kind of clear them out. That's the idea behind them. Again, the science there, some people say they don't work, some people say they do. I've never had any bad results from them, and it's just something that I added into my little morning stack along with my probiotics because I used to have a messed up stomach, and that's something that I stay on top of. But yes, I personally like L-carnitine. What weight gainers do I recommend? I recommend eating more food. Weight gainers, if you're a really hard gainer, you're struggling to put on weight, there definitely are some great weight gainers out there. You just want to have something that has a high calorie count. A lot of them just have a higher sugar content within them. So I personally don't use weight gainers, but I just look for something that has upwards of 300, 400 calories per serve. Have them with milk if you can deal with the lactose in there, because that'll also up the calories. Next question here is, do I cycle my pre-workout? If so, when and for how long? I don't necessarily cycle my pre-workout, but I do tend to try and go a little bit of time without caffeine every now and again. Every few months, I'll go a week or two without caffeine, just to give my body that reset. Our body does adapt to caffeine. So you find guys, old gym heads that take pre-workout every day, they need more and more to get a buzz. It's because their bodies are adapting to caffeine. So I never want to get to that point. That's why I don't use pre-workout for every session. So I try and just go, if I start feeling like, oh, you know what, I'm still tired and I've taken pre-workout, I'll give it a break for a while, go back to natural, reset, make sure I'm eating well, sleeping lots, having plenty of water, and then go for it again. Any pre-workout advice for someone who can't have caffeine? Have an apple. An apple is a great source of energy, great source of carbs. There's about as much energy in an apple as there is in a coffee. So if you can't have caffeine, have an apple. It's delicious, it's healthy, and it's a good little pre-workout. If I could only take 3 supplements, what would I take and why? They're the first 3 I covered off here. That would be a whey protein, I'd be taking creatine, and I would be having a source of carbs while I train. Next question here is, what is better for muscle mass, pure protein isolate or protein mass gainers? The whole thing with a mass gainer is it's just got extra calories in it. If you're trying to put on size, you're better off having the mass gainer. Keep in mind, anytime you're trying to put on size, you're also gonna put on fat. You cannot put on body weight without putting on fat as well as muscle. Is there an optimal time to drink whey protein? Okay, so this is another one of those myths that's been a little bit debunked recently about the optimum time frame in which to drink a protein shake. Used to be within 20 minutes of working out. Now it's not as much of a thing. Honestly, unless you're at that top tier of athletes in the top 2%, timing isn't gonna make that much of a difference. Personally, I try and have my protein source straight after training. I have my carbs around that time too, but that's just me personally. That's how I like to do it. So if you can, try and do the same thing. But it's not gonna make a huge difference if you have it an hour later. Test boosters. Tell me a good testosterone booster. I've never used test boosters. I don't think they work. It's not something I've looked into, so can't really help you on that one, sorry. Okay, the next question here is, how important is casein for the muscles? Casein is not something I have in my stack currently, but is definitely something that I recommend. Lane, my business partner, he is all about casein, has it every night before bed. The whole thing with casein is it is a slowly a slower breaking down protein. So it's gonna stop you going catabolic while you're sleeping. Your muscles aren't gonna break down because your body's slowly digesting and processing that type of protein. I think it's a really great way, if you're struggling to get your protein in, to have it while you sleep. Your body is gonna stay anabolic. That's gonna do, guys. I'm gonna leave it there for today. If you've got any questions, please keep them coming. As I said, I'm definitely not an expert in this area, but if you guys have a lot of questions, maybe I'll bring in an expert. We can do like a expert and the idiot type situation. That's it. I'll see you guys next time.